everyone, welcome to Champions, our new series at City Kids this term. Now, before we start, let me tell you a joke. So what is an insect's favourite sport? Anyone? It's cricket! Oh yeah, okay, all right, give me another one. I'm going to try another one, okay. Why can't Cinderella play football? Because she's always running away from the ball. Well, do you know what? We have got an amazing summer of sporting events coming up. We have got amazing stuff like the Euros football kicking off in a few weeks' time. We've got Wimbledon, we've got the NBA finals, and of course, the big one, the Olympics in Tokyo is just a couple of months away. And yes, you might have guessed it, our new series at City Kids is going to be all about sports. Now, did you know that the Bible says that following Jesus is a little bit like running a race? In fact, the Apostle Paul said something just like that in 1 Corinthians. In chapter 9, he said, "Did you know that in a race, all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? So run like that, run to win." That's from 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. And today in City Kids, we are going to be learning all about what Paul meant there and why following Jesus is a bit like running a race. Each week in Champions, we're going to be praying together. We're going to be looking at a different country that is represented in the Olympics. We're going to be finding out about the lives of lots of different amazing sports people who followed Jesus. We've got games, we've got worship, we've got competitions, we've got loads of stuff, which is going to be really, really fun. So let's kick off this morning with our first game.
Good morning, City Kids, and welcome to your Games Challenge. And we've got a great game for you this morning. It is called Egg Slap, and it is a head-to-head, fast-action game. So Zach and I are going to explain the rules and demonstrate it. So what you need is a pot, preferably a light one that can cover an egg, or you can use a ball if you want to, a small ball. And that goes under your pot like that. And the key is to take in turns slapping the pot, and then one of you needs to try and remove the pot as fast as you can while the other one thinks it's still there and hits the egg. So what you don't want to do is hit the egg, otherwise your opponent gets the point, okay? So Zach and I are going to have a game. Do you feel like the champion, Zach?
Yeah.
You do? Oh, let's see. Right, go. Oh, that's it. I missed it, I think, yeah. Well done. Oh, I would have got it, I think. Zach, I would have hit the egg. That was good. Oh, very good. Oh, I hit it! It stayed intact though, so that was good. Okay, and again. Oh, well done, Zach. Oh, I was nearly there. Oh, you got 2 points. Well done, Vine. Do you want to go?
Yep.
Oh, no, I need to up my game. Up my game. Okay, ready? Go. Oh. Okay. Oh, did you touch it?
Yeah.
Ah! And then. Oh! That was it. I think Mummy definitely lost that game. Well, it is a lot of fun, and as I say, you can use an egg, you could use a ball, but have lots and lots of fun with your challenge. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Hi City Kids, it's time for the Maccathon Challenge. Let's see if you can sign along today.
Hey everyone, today's sign is football. Is football.
Each week we're going to tell the story of a successful athlete who is a passionate follower of Jesus. This week, we've got one of the great Brazilian footballers, Ricardo Isaacson dos Santos Leite, better known as Kaká. Kaká achieved almost everything in football, winning the Champions League, the World Cup with Brazil and the Ballon d'Or award for being the best player of the year. Ever since he was a young boy, Kaká wanted to play football. His dreams nearly came to an end when he was 18 though. He broke his spine in a swimming pool accident, but by God's grace he recovered and was able to play again. But even though Kaká is passionate about football, it's not the most important passion in his life. Jesus is. Written on his football boots are the words, Jesus in first place. That means that Jesus is the most important thing, and nothing matters more than following him, even winning. He said, even though I am playing against others, and it is important to get there and win, I believe that Jesus is much more important than all of that. He famously wears a T-shirt under his football kit, with the words, I belong to Jesus. Kaká said, it may seem that I have everything. Due to my wealth and fame, some people ask if I still need Jesus. The answer is simple, I need Jesus every day of my life. The Bible tells me that without him, I can't do anything. I really believe that. The ability I have to play football, and all that has resulted from it are gifts from God.
Hi guys, it's Matt here. This term we're going to be thinking over the series about a number of different sports and different sports people and people from all over the world, and part of that this morning is the fact that we're thinking about how we're going all in following Jesus and what that also possibly means in sport and other things as well. So like I say, we're going to be thinking a lot about various different sports people and sports around the world this series, and in sports, the people that take part in those, they go what we would say is all in. So when they're training, there's strict things that they have to stick to. So they get up at certain times, they eat certain foods at certain times, they have to exercise a lot in certain ways at certain times and on different days. And it's just a lot of effort goes into being a really, really top sports person, and they have to do everything exactly right to be in their peak condition to compete in their sports. So like someone like Usain Bolt, for example, they might have to have a lot of meals in a day that incorporate a lot of probably eggs and chicken and rice or pasta, things like that, just lots of foods that help their body get into the condition that they need it to be for the sport that they're competing in. Now, in the key verse that we're thinking about this morning, where it says, you know that in the race all the runners run, but only one gets to the prize. So run like that, run to win. I mean, that's quite something that's being said, and Paul is saying in there that we should have that mindset. It's sort of that mindset in our faith of God, that Jesus calls us to follow him, but we're not just following him a little tiny bit, it's completely all in following him, like the athletes that follow their strict regimes. We are completely all in, being fired up for our faith in God. So in the sports people, their number one priority is their sport, and for us, the number one priority should be following Jesus. That should be the number one thing in our lives, and we should be wholeheartedly doing that. And being a champion, it's not just the hard work. I'm quite sure that, like Usain Bolt and a number of other sportsmen, have plenty of fun and there's lots of exciting times, and it's all those things as well. It's not just about the hard work, and it's the same in our lives. It's an adventure. Following Jesus isn't just all about strict regimes. It's fun, exciting, and adventure, like as I said. So when the first disciples heard Jesus say, "Follow me," that is exactly what they did. They didn't really understand what was going on. There was lots of things they didn't know. There was lots of questions they had. I mean, quite a lot of those weren't necessarily answered straight away, if at all for some of them. They just did exactly what Jesus said. They just followed him. And sometimes we can be like that. We just think there's lots that we don't know, don't understand, but that's okay. It's fine. We don't have to have all the answers. We don't have to know everything. Jesus is still worth it. So the question is, are you up for the adventure? Are you up for the adventure of following him anyway?
Patience, this timing's never late. Fearless, I know who lives in me. My light and my salvation, the one I put my faith in, day and night. Let's go! I won't doubt you for a second, faith will be my eyes. Throw my worries through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you all my life. Let's go! Jesus, the name that never fails. With me, always with me. I know you make a way. My light and my salvation, the one I put my faith in, day and night. I won't doubt you for a second, faith will be in my eyes. Throw my worries through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you, yeah. I won't doubt you for a second, faith will be in my eyes. Throw my worries through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you all my life. Let's go! I trust you cause you're perfect, trust you cause you're good. I trust because you love like no one ever could. Yeah, you are my provider, you are my best friend. You will never fail, you're faithful to the end. I trust you cause you're perfect, trust you cause you're good. I trust because you love like no one ever could. Yeah, you are my provider, you are my best friend. You will never fail. I won't doubt you for a second, faith will be in my eyes. Throw my worries through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you, yeah. I won't doubt you for a second, faith will be in my eyes. Throw my worries through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you all my life.
Every week on Champions, we're going to learn about a different country that competes in the Olympics. This week, it's Brazil. Brazil in South America is the world's 5th largest country. It's home to the Amazon rainforest, which is so huge it covers well over half the country. It's home to thousands of species of plants and animals, including plants that make many of our medicines. Brazil is famous for its coffee, its amazing beaches, and the huge Amazon River. There's a big divide between rich and poor in Brazil. It has some of the wealthiest cities in the southern hemisphere, but also has millions of people living in poverty. One of the most famous landmarks in Brazil is the statue called Christ the Redeemer, high up in the hills over the city of Rio. In the statue, Jesus has his arms outstretched, showing that he welcomes everyone who would come to him. Brazil hosted the Olympics in 2016, where they won 7 gold medals. Brazilians are passionate about sport, especially football. They've won the Men's World Cup 5 times, more than any other country. Volleyball, basketball, and Formula One motor racing are also really popular. Christianity in Brazil has spread like wildfire over the last century. There were always lots of churches there, but not many people had a personal relationship with Jesus. Until in 1910, 2 Swedish men, Daniel Berg and Gunnar Wingren, were in a tiny prayer meeting in America. Someone felt God saying that they should go to a place called Para to tell people about Jesus. They'd never heard of Para, so they went to the local library to look it up. They discovered that Para is a state in Brazil. But they had almost no money, and no way to get to Para. But they prayed again, and God told them to go to a particular place in New York. When they arrived, they met a man who gave them the exact amount of money it would take to fly them to Para. When they arrived, they were exhausted, and completely on their own. They sat on a park bench and wondered what to do next. The only thing they could do was pray. God answered their prayers, helping them find a Christian friend. They told everyone they could about Jesus, and they weren't shy about telling people that they could be filled with the Holy Spirit. Quickly they planted a church where people could be filled with the Holy Spirit. Today that church has become 22,000 churches, and over 175 million people have come to know God. Brazilian Christians are well known for being passionate about praying and telling other people about God. Take a moment to pause and pray for Brazil. Ask that God would keep the passion for prayer going in the Brazilian church. Also pray that God would use his people to tackle some of the hardest problems in the country, like poverty and crime.
Hi guys, we're just going to spend a bit of time thinking and praying about all the things that we've heard and learned and thought about this morning, about how we want to go all in and have the champion's mindset in everything we do in following Jesus in our life. So I've got a bit of an activity that I think will be helpfully doing this. So I'm just going to need you to maybe go around your house and pick up a few things. So you can either watch the video until the end and then remember everything and go and do it later, or rewatch it later and do it later, or you can pause the video at certain points and go get things and come back and then and do it as we go. But it's up to you. But like I say, I think it'd be good activity to do, so make sure you go and get the things either now or later. But this morning we've been thinking about, like I say, going all in and fully surrendering in everything that we do. So what I thought would be good is if we went and got a few items from around our houses that represent certain things in our lives that take up maybe a lot of time or thought, or things that are important to us. So I've just got a few examples of things that you might go and pick up. So for example, for some of you it might be that TV, for example, is an important thing to you or takes up a lot of time in your life, or maybe something on a mobile phone, a game or something along those lines. Right. School, that's another big thing that takes up a lot of our time and is quite a big important thing to us. Or maybe even a sports team that you support or take part in. Again, that's a lot of time, effort, thought, a big priority in your life. So maybe think about a number of other things that are big things to you, that are either priorities in your life, take a lot of time, a lot of thought, things like that. Just go get something that represents those. It could be maybe shoes for walking, if you like going out walking, anything like that. And just go get these things and just leave them in a pile here. And then what I want you to do is go and find a Bible. And then with the Bible, I want you to just put it on top of all those things that you've just gone to collect. That is basically representing that you want to put everything from the Bible, the importance of following Jesus and putting him first in your life, on top of everything else that, although is important and is a priority to you. You want to confirm that you want to put Jesus on top of all of those things. And I'm just going to say a really quick, short prayer. And if you want to just repeat it after me, say it in your head, or just quietly listen, then that would be great. But maybe just as a symbol, put the Bible on top of the pile of things, maybe your hand on top of it, and like I say, either sort of just say this prayer out loud again after me, or just quietly in your head. Jesus, I thank you for your call to follow you. I want to go all in and surrender fully, even if I don't think I understand everything. Amen.
Well, I hope you had an amazing time at this first day of Champions at City Kids today. I hope you had an amazing time. I hope you had fun playing those games. Do you know what? Next week, why don't you invite one of your friends to come and watch it from their house as well and get them to come and join in? They could join in the competition too. Now, as I said, we've got a chance for you every single week to win an amazing prize. You can choose your prize from all sorts of sporty options. And here's what we want you to do this week. Now, if you think that my jokes at the beginning were a little bit rubbish, then this is where you can help me out. Because I want you to send me your best sports joke. So get your thinking caps on, type that joke out, get mum or dad or someone in your family to email it into us at citykids@citychurch.org.uk. We're going to be listening to all of your funnies next week, and we'll be picking one person at random who's going to be our first winner. And I'm going to be praying for you, especially this week. In light of everything we've talked about today, I'm going to be praying that God really helps you to make Jesus that number one in your life. Just like Kako was saying, just like we've been looking at, I'm praying that He is the thing that is most important in your life. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.